G'day everyone, I'm Dave. Thank you for joining me. Well, the world is just going crazy. Every time I do a video, there is another massive big change and more information I can bring you. So watch the video. I've got lots of stuff today. I'm covering all sorts of topics from Nano Banana, which I talked about last video, to tools to help productivity, because lots of people have asked about that. I want to show some outcomes of what we've been doing, and everything is now pointing to exactly the way I thought things would go. Now, I'm no oracle. I'm just a guy that's been around for a while, and you can see the trends emerging, but there is some startling things that people need to start thinking about. I've been talking to lots of business people lately, lots of heads of business, and everyone is now starting to realize the importance of owning the conversation to be able to be found in the future, because everything is now turned on its head. I will give you a perfect example. So last week we talked about Nano Banana. It is now officially been released, as I sort of suspected, by Google. Now that's a major player, right? So this is not some tin pot little backyard guy that's come up with it. Everybody will start to use this technology because Google have released it. You can now access it for free, and you can pretty well create whatever you want. Now, based on that, this is just my theory, right? We as humans have always been storytellers. That is the way that we work, as to quote Yuval Noah Harari and Sapiens, we work together as a team. That's what's got us to the head of the food chain, or whatever you want to call it, right? We're storytellers, we use conversation. The LLMs have been trained on conversation, good, bad, or indifferent. Now, we have got bullshit meters. We know if someone is bullshitting us, right? It's an innate thing that people have worked out over the years. It's not saying that everyone's impervious to be fooled or scammed or whatever, but we have a very good bullshit detecting meter in conversation. We can pick it up from the tone. We can pick it up from the way people use context, right? LLMs are no different, right? But now we've always pretty well started to, they say seeing is believing. So if you show someone something, and I know that with AI, images have got better and better, but you could always sort of tell a little bit, and the character consistency was never good enough that everybody had access to produce en masse images that are so lifelike you would not know. So let's look at the world of how we get people's attention. So every advertiser knows that if you've got some image of whatever it happens to be, people will tend to believe that image, and that cuts through the bullshit, because they don't need to explain anything. You look at an image, you work it out, because we're taught to basically believe what we see, because there's no, we have not been trained to be fooled by images. It's only now with the development of AI, and I'm talking about at scale, right? Every single person on the planet can produce an image that is not true and publish it. So what are we going to do as humans? We now have to retrain what we believe. Speech, we can filter out. Conversations, we're good at. It's innate, it's in our system, right? We know language. The power of language is not only what is said, it's what's not said. But an image, we believe. Now, what's happened now with the release of Nano Banana, or Gemini 2.5 Flash image, as it's technically known, it has now democratized the ability for anybody to create anything. And I'm about to show you why that, my theory is, Facebook, TikTok, all these platforms that are showing videos and images, we know it's brain rot, but the problem is it is going to be so much brain rot. No advertiser in their right mind is going to run Facebook ads, I don't believe, in the future, in another year or so's time. They will have virtually no effect. It doesn't matter what images are shown to people, they're not going to believe them. So your effect of the image being something that has impact is going to lessen and lessen and lessen and lessen. But conversation will always be there. Recommendations are changing the way we do things. We don't go to a website, we don't search the website, we don't go click, 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 read the information. We will just be presented by our AI assistant that's gone and found the information for us, and it will be in a conversation form as a recommendation. We are more likely to buy. So the new market is getting recommendations, and everyone is coming to that realization. I knew this was coming because any idiot could probably work it out, and I'm any idiot. So I've got a bit of a story to tell. We'll go down here. I want to show you an image. So what I wanted to do is didn't want to get anyone too famous, but I wanted to get someone relatively famous, someone who I hold in very, very high regard, and someone that if they do have a beef with me, they've actually got a bigger beef from about 40 years ago. But anyway, all right. So let's go down here, and I want to show you what was Nano Banana. It's still AKA Nano Banana, but it's called Gemini Flash 2.5. So here we are on Gemini Flash. Now what I've done earlier, I created an image of myself dancing with Peter Garrett in a t-shirt with my company logo on it. That took me the whole time of about 4.5 minutes, if that, to produce that video. Now, that video is just taken from one picture of me and a picture of Peter Garrett that wasn't anywhere in that pose. Now, the reason I say that Peter Garrett may not get upset with me is because a long time ago, way back in 1984, as a matter of fact, I was the work experience boy at Triple M in Sydney, Australia. And Midnight Oil are a huge band, my favourite band. They just released 10 to 1. And as the young work experience boy, mad on, music and everything else, I got asked to go to the post office and pick up the album Red Sails in the Sunset. It had just been not even released yet. They basically had just started to mention it. I went down to the post office, picked it up, and of course, being impertinent youth, I opened it. So if we look at the screenshot here, this is what the cover looked like. And in the day, that was pretty ahead of its time for imaging. This is the other reason I'm using Peter Garrett as an example. We knew back then, when we looked at that image, it was bullshit, right? It is obviously bullshit. It was meant to be bullshit. It can't fool anybody, but it got the message across, right? Now, I opened that, and when I handed it to Peter Garrett and Rob Hurst, they said, oh, we haven't even seen that yet. So I'm sure Peter Garrett won't get upset. Me doing and using him in this video, obviously he knows it's not him, and he's got more beef with me for what I did back then. But it's a great example for this video, right? So, Red Sails in the Sunset, there's an image, we know it's bullshit, right? But now, let's have a look at this. We'll go into now Gemini 2.5 Flash, image preview. It is now available. You can get it on AI Studio, and if you're a Google user, you can sign in, and it's free at the moment. They'll obviously have some sort of limit. But I just want to show you how crazily insane this is. This is just a live test. I've never done anything, right? So I've just uploaded a picture, and I'm now going to put in a prompt. So let's make it a simple one first. We won't do anything too complicated. Make the hand be open and the t-shirt red. Okay, that's a fairly simple one. You would expect it would be able to do that. We'll click run, and we'll just see how quickly it actually creates the image. Now, seriously, I have done a few images with this, and everyone on YouTube is obviously talking about it, so there's no point me going on about it, but this fits into my argument about what I'm talking about. Now, there we go. All right, it didn't make my hand do anything strange, but it changed it to red. Okay, let's try something a little bit more complicated, right? Okay, so let's upload the new image again, and we'll have a look, and we'll go, please, I always say please because, it's always good to know the LLM understands you when you treat it like with respect. Please zoom out to show the rest of the band. Okay, let's see what happens here. Run. Okay, now it's doing something. Let's have a look. Now, this means that the LLM has to actually have context. It has to understand the surroundings and create the image based on where it is. Okay, let's have a look at that. That doesn't look too bad. Will be very interesting if it is actually the band. No, it's not Rob Hurst on drums, but anyway, that's pretty good, all right? Now, that's the first bit. We can create any image. Every other YouTuber on the planet has done Nano Banana, so I won't go onto it, but this is what I do want to show you, right? What we can do now, we've actually got our image or our base images. We can go into Perplexity now, right? I'm a big fan of Perplexity. It works very well. You can now, if you've got a Perplexity plan, you can make an image do things like VO3. It must be using VO3 to use it as the engine to run it, but let's try this, right? I'm going to update the original picture and I'll update it there, call it Dave and Pete, and I'm going to say, create a video with the guy in the t-shirt on the right singing, "The time has come to own the conversation." In this AI age. Okay, let's see what happens now. We'll hit the perplexity button. It's reading, it's getting ready to generate a video. Now, look at this. I've got the comment browser and it's free now for people. So there we go. More people will be not using Google and using an LLM to search how they find what they're going to buy and what they're going to do and how they're going to plan their holiday and who they're going to trust. And the one that gets recommended has got a huge chance of actually making a sale. And I will show some examples in a minute. So what's happening is it's gone off. It's now starting to make a video. It shouldn't take too long. Actually, while it's doing that, let's go. I want to show you another quick image, right? Now, we know the British carpet company here has got Victoria, their AI assistant, which you know why you need to have an AI assistant on your site, because your site will no longer really be visited by humans. It's going to be visited by other AI assistants and AI agents to gather the information. Now, we started to see the field with this one probably about 7 months ago, I guess, with another site called Carpet Sydney.